Hey, leave your comments below your thoughts about the state of the Chicago Cubs. When you and I were talking in June about this Cubs team, the thing that I think we were talking about is how the Cubs and Brewers mirrored each other. You know, taking the extra base, really aggressive on the base paths, playing great defense, picking up one another. And I thought maybe the Cubs have turned the corner because the Brewers are kind of playing the same way, but the Cubs clearly are more talented, right? That is not the case because here we are in mid-August and the Cubs are 9 games behind the Brewers in the National League Central. Can the Cubs still make the playoffs? Yes, but that's not the point. The point is that the Cubs stop pulling from the same rope where everyone's struggling at the same time. Yeah, I mean, there is a player here or there in the lineup that comes through every now and then. But as far as runners in scoring position, it's just not happening for this team. And there's been some confusion along the way with this Cubs team as well, as far as what the goal is. I thought at the deadline that the Chicago Cubs want to be able to be not just a playoff team, but actually go for it. I look up and down baseball, and outside of Milwaukee, there aren't really what I would say hot teams or strong favorites to win the World Series. I think it's wide open for a number of teams that are contenders. But the Cubs are not in that category right now. They're not. Because as much as I thought baseball was wide open, the Cubs are not doing anything about it. And there's been just some misdirection as far as where the organization's headed. So we hear from Carter Hawkins, the general manager of the Cubs. He doesn't speak very often, but when he does speak, oh boy, did you hear what he said just recently, a few days ago? He made the comment that the Cubs have to be as competitive now as they can be in 2032, meaning that it's important to be competitive now as much as it's competitive to be 2032. He never said the World Series. And I just think that every year the message should be, we're trying to win the World Series. That's the White Sox or the Cubs. In this major market, that should be the message. But Carter Hawkins said, you got to be as competitive now, just like you got to be competitive in 2032. That doesn't say anything. And that's just very strange. And then at the deadline, of course, where the Cubs are supposed to be able to make moves, find a starter, find offense to be able to supplement what you already have, fail to do that at the deadline. Fail to do it. So what's the message? The message is, like a lot of Chicago sports teams, just turn on the lights, have the fans come through the gates, and whatever happens, happens. And that's not right. Especially when you want to go to a game with your homies, you want to go with your family, and you got to spend through the nose for tickets and concessions and everything else that comes along with going to a ball game. And it's like, oh, ho-hum, we got them on the hook now. You just pay through the nose for tickets and everything that comes with it, and we'll give you a subpar product. It's not right. It's not right for us fans to have to deal with that. But from the Cubs standpoint, for them to lose 7-0 against the Brewers in the first game of the doubleheader, and they're not going to play the second one because of the rain. But the point is, though, is they look so overmatched. Cubs look so overmatched. And then the Kyle Tucker news that you hear from Craig Counsell, the fine manager of the Chicago Cubs. This guy says, yeah, we're going to give Tucker a couple of days off because we're not helping him and he's not helping himself. He made the declaration to the press, yeah, we're going to give him a couple of days off. Who does that? That should have happened a long time ago. You should get even Ian Happ some time off and Suzuki some time off and all the other Cubs that are struggling on the team. They need some time as well. Owen Casey should have played in that Pittsburgh series, and he did not. I'm not saying that he's Superman, but at least be able to give the young man a chance. Sometimes new blood can be able to awaken a locker room. Doing his own thing, coming from the minor leagues, maybe he could help the team. But the bottom line is that the Cubs are just sunk. They're just playing underwhelming baseball, can't score. The pitching's doing all it can to be able to hold the Cubs in ball games, but it's just not working. And that falls to the feet of the players. But it falls at the feet of Jed Hoyer. We were just talking in June how impressed we were with the Cubs. Now look at them right now in August. Yes, they're a playoff team, but what does that really mean if you're going to get bounced out early and you can't hit the baseball? Milwaukee is just that team. They are strong here in the regular season, and they are just dog-walking the Chicago Cubs, not just on the field, but also in the front office.